Southeast Texas, we're under a weather impact alert as we head towards Saturday night into Sunday for very cold temperatures returning to the area. The good news is that this is going to be a dry cold and it's going to be short-lived. So 3 days and then it's out of here. It's not going to be a whole week. Otherwise, right now we are looking at a beautiful sunset and fairly mild temperatures this afternoon. We were able to recover into the low to mid 60s, pretty close for this time of year as far as normals. This view of the skyline or the evening sunset over at Orange, courtesy of the Horseman's Western Store, part of the Roofing 911 Skycam network. Currently 55 in Orange, and here's your weather headlines. Tomorrow, because of tonight's cold front, it's going to be a colder, breezy Friday. Another Arctic cold front comes in early Saturday morning. That means even colder and breezy on Saturday, and that will set the stage to a bitterly cold Sunday morning across southeast Texas. You will have to take care of all the 4 Ps. You're going to have to do something. This will impact your lives. So this is why we have the Weather Impact Alert program, because if you don't take care of the pets, they're going to have problems. If you don't take care of your pipes, you're going to have problems. You have to be careful with heating your homes and, of course, the plants. So it's the 4 Ps coming up Saturday night into Sunday morning with that Weather Impact Alert. That's all that means. As far as early next week, temperatures kind of modify a little bit and warm a little bit. So then as we head towards Tuesday night, looks like a good chance of rain across southeast Texas. Fast forward into Saturday morning, after that Arctic cold front comes through, we're looking at wind chills in the teens. There will be a cold weather advisory in effect for southeast Texas, as again, it could be even colder just off towards our east and southwest Louisiana. That weather impact alert then expected for Saturday night into Sunday morning. We expect very cold temperatures as we head on into Sunday morning, and it will be a long duration freeze. We're talking 8 to 17 hours below freezing, so it's not a 1 to 2, 3 hour event. It's more like 8 to 17 as we go into the upper teens in the lakes area by Sunday morning and into the low to mid 20s here in the Triangle. That hard freeze will be Saturday night into Sunday morning. So here is what we think as far as the freeze duration. You need to know which county you live in. Tyler County, northern Jasper, northern Newton counties. We're talking Newton back over towards Burkeville, Jasper, and also Woodville, Cominil. You could see freezing temperatures between 15 and 17 hours. Inland southeast Texas, we're talking Hardin, southern Jasper, and southern Newton counties. That is Lumberton, Silsbee, Kuntz, back over to Evadale, maybe Buna, 14 to 15 hours of below freezing temperatures. Long duration. And here in the Triangle, Jefferson, Orange, and Chambers. Again, do you know which county you live in? We're talking about Beaumont, Vidor. We'll go over towards China, back over towards Sour Lake, Evadale, Mauriceville, Orange, Bridge City, Mid-County, Port Arthur. 8 to 14 hours below as far as freezing temperatures coming up Sunday night, or Sunday morning, I should say, across the area. Right now, we're expecting maybe the upper teens up in the lakes area, especially along 190, and here in the Triangle, low to mid 20s. So it's a pipe buster again, but that should be the last one for a while. Hopefully that's the last one of the winter. So normally our high is 65, and we're forecasting 51 on Friday, 41 on Saturday, and 50 on Sunday. So that is anywhere between 15 and almost 25 degrees below normal on Friday through the weekend. Closer to normal on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then back to colder behind Tuesday night's cold front. Otherwise, those low temperatures, here's where the fun begins. 37 is what we're forecasting tomorrow morning. 29, which is 16 degrees below the normal of 45 degrees. 23 degrees below normal on Sunday morning at 22. That's in Beaumont, even colder up towards the lakes area. Light freeze Monday morning. And then we go to near normal Tuesday and above normal on Wednesday, and then temperatures come back down behind that front Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. So we're running about 9 degrees colder than normal on Thursday. We can handle that. It's when we get to 15, 20, 25 degrees below normal. That's kind of rough. As far as rainfall, everything's kind of sped up. What a surprise. Maybe not to us, but we are expecting a good chance of rain coming up as we head towards Tuesday night across southeast Texas, and we are going to go with a 70% coverage Tuesday night across southeast Texas, maybe some leftovers Wednesday morning as yet another cold front comes through. But from what we can tell, it looks like a fairly weak one compared to what we've been dealing with over the last week across southeast Texas. So pretty quiet out there right now on the Pro Roofing Concepts satellite and radar loop. Already down at least at the airport at Jasper at down to 52, low to mid 50s here in the Triangle. Just some high cloudiness. You may have noticed that at the sunset. Beautiful sunset, but we will see the clouds really thicken up after midnight tonight in advance of that cold front, which is just off towards our northwest of Huntsville and Lufkin at this time. Notice this kind of pocket of really cold temperatures from Oklahoma City, Wichita Falls, Abilene, and northwest of Dallas. That's still snow on the ground. That extends back up to Little Rock, Fort Smith, and on into Tennessee. But this is the first front. It is much weaker compared to what we are expecting as we work on into Saturday morning. But it's going to be cold enough. That front is going to be bringing the clouds. You can see those clouds off towards our west. That will be increasing across our area as we head to, say, midnight and tomorrow morning. That cloud cover will keep temperatures from warming up too much with the northerly winds tomorrow afternoon. It's going to be hard to get out of the low 50s across southeast Texas. Hopefully we can do that. And thanks to O Canada, here comes our next trough. This is the real Arctic air. This is going to spin on down behind that first front as we work on into Saturday morning. But deep trough of low pressure, it's going to cut off into an upper low. It's part of the polar vortex. It's going to really hammer the Carolinas back off to the southeast, Ohio River Valley for brutally cold weather conditions coming out of Canada as we work on into this weekend, and even a glancing blow into our neck of the woods. So tonight looks pretty quiet across southeast Texas, except for, well, I say quiet, it's no rain or anything like that, but we are going to see the clouds really increase. Here comes the front. Looks like about midnight it'll be moving through the lakes area, and just after that here in the Triangle. That will really start cooling us off mid to upper 30s tomorrow morning as the clouds thicken up. And as you can see, it's going to be a cold start in the morning, a blustery day across southeast Texas, a gray day across southeast Texas for most of the day. There's by 9 a.m. low to mid 40s, winds gusting at times up to 20 miles an hour. This may be a stretch in Beaumont. It all depends if we see any sunshine tomorrow to get us out of the lower 50s. They don't do it in the lakes area. So I'm kind of like, how is that going to happen here in the Triangle? We got cloudy skies and we got blustery northerly winds. So maybe around 50, 51 here in Beaumont, maybe just the upper 40s in the lakes area. And again, there's the trough of low pressure. Look how it cuts off. This is a big piece of cold air that's going to be moving through the Ohio River Valley and heading towards the Carolinas. They are expecting some pretty impressive snows, and it looks like dry, fluffy snow heading over towards Charlotte as we head towards Saturday. Regardless, into Sunday. Regardless, it looks like Canada is emptying out all of the cold air and just bringing it into the lower 48. And that is certainly going to be a cold weekend, a cold, dry weekend across southeast Texas versus what we saw last weekend where it was a cold, wet weekend. So we don't think that's going to be happening this time. Otherwise, on the Gulf of Mexico, wish I had better news as far as boaters, but it looks like a small craft advisory in effect tomorrow for slightly choppy seas around 2 to 3 and a north wind at 15 to 20 knots. Some gusts to 25 knots are expected. Our forecast tonight, becoming mostly cloudy, cold. We'll see south winds shift north behind the front as temperatures will drop into the mid 30s in the lakes and into the middle to upper 30s and lower 40s in the Triangle. Could see some wind gusts up to 20 miles an hour. So heavy coats coming up tomorrow morning because I don't think we're going to there's a chance that we may not get out of the 40s in the lakes area. We'll go low to mid 50s here in the Triangle. But again, lots of gray, lots of cloud cover over the area. And then maybe after about 4 or 5 in the afternoon, maybe 3, 4, 5 in the afternoon, we start to see some decreasing cloudiness, maybe a few peaks of sun, but it is at least here in the Triangle, it's going to be a pretty gray day, maybe a little more sun up in the lakes area. But regardless, we will see winds gusting 20 miles an hour. That second stronger front comes in Saturday morning, and that's when we have a cold weather advisory for all of southeast Texas. And all that means is that we are expecting temperatures well below normal. This is, again, your wind chills Saturday morning. Okay, wind chills in the teens across southeast Texas. We're actually going 29, so it's going to be a freeze Saturday morning. And this is optimistic. It's real possible that up in the lakes, they may not get out of the 30s. Lots of sun, very dry air moving into southeast Texas. A lot of static electricity, certainly a chapstick kind of day. So again, we're expecting that hard freeze coming up Saturday night and Sunday morning as the skies clear. And it looks like we will see upper teens in the lakes to the low to mid 20s here in the Triangle. So a pipe buster is what we're talking about. And that means you need to take care of people, pets, pipes, and plants. People meaning checking in on the elderly. Make sure your elderly friends have warm conditions, heating basically, and be careful heating your homes. Be careful with those space heaters. Pets, bring them in. Make sure livestock have a little extra feed. Pipes, either drip or turn off your water Saturday night and Sunday because this is a pipe buster. And plants, well, if the temperature hadn't gotten them yet and you are still trying to save them, bring them in, put them in the greenhouse or cover them. Otherwise, that cold day will be with lots of sun on Sunday at 50. At least the winds will be down on Sunday. Then Monday, another light freeze here in the Triangle. Moderation in temperatures, near normal temperatures coming up Monday and Tuesday. And then as I showed you, we will go with a 70% coverage of rain towards Tuesday night as that next cold front comes through. Maybe, possibly some leftovers Wednesday morning as we start cooling off, and then the drier air finally catches up with the front on Thursday as we see those temperatures back into the 30s for lows and highs in the 50s with lots of sun. Now that's not a bad winter, lows in the 30s, highs in the 50s. But when you're talking about teens for lows and highs only in the 30s and 40s, that's kind of cold, isn't it? All right, let's review. If you're just joining us, it looks like a cold weather advisory will be in effect for southeast Texas as we work on through Saturday into Sunday, as we're expecting well below normal temperatures. We're expecting wind chills could be as cold as the teens across southeast Texas Saturday morning. We get a cold front tonight, and that'll cool us off tomorrow quite substantially, and then the stronger Arctic front comes in Saturday morning. That's why the wind is going to be elevated, and when you're talking about temperatures in the upper 20s and winds gusting at times up to 20 miles an hour, you can see it's pretty easy to do that as far as wind chills. This is what it feels like, so that's why we're issuing a weather impact alert mainly for Saturday night into Sunday morning, as we are expecting those low temperatures to get actual low temperatures, not wind chills, but actual temperatures to get into the upper teens in the lakes Sunday morning and into the low to mid 20s in the Triangle. This is going to be a hard freeze, and it's a long duration. We're talking 8 to 17 hours below freezing. So again, if you're in the lakes area, I would be expecting temperatures to be below freezing between 15 and 17 hours. If you're in inland southeast Texas, Hardin, southern Jasper, southern Newton counties, we're talking Lumberton, Silsbee, Evadale, and into southern Newton counties, you can see temperatures will be below freezing between 14 and 15 hours. And in the Triangle, we're talking Jefferson, Orange, and Chambers counties, that could be as much as 14 hours below freezing. Of course, that's along I-10, closer to 8, maybe 7 hours in through Port Arthur. And as we see on the map, I like 19 up towards the lakes area and about 22 Beaumont and Orange, and then maybe the mid-20s over towards Port Arthur. So pretty cold as we head towards Sunday morning if you're looking at that. Saturday, Sunday.